All right, so we just want to remind everybody that we don't believe in the secular. So we don't believe in secular. We only believe in evangelical. So we are a show that shows God's world and how God wants you to see the world. That's Linda, and I'm Cole. There it is, right there. That's how God sees the world. So Linda's gonna have a sandwich, and we're gonna be heading off here really soon.
Yes, it's a sandwich.
So I'm kind of waiting. This is kind of our green room right here, which is interesting because this is actually our green room. But if you come in here, everything turns green. So, and that's amazing. Starts to growl, kind of like a cat.
Okay, I'm trying to focus on.
All right. Linda's getting ready. I couldn't wait any longer. So we're dealing with September 15th. Clarify things about the Please Subscribe show. We don't believe in the secular, okay? We only believe in the evangelical. So we believe that this is God's world and he commands you. And don't forget it. You're commanded by God at all times. All right, September 15th.
Yes,
Rings. Let's show our pretty rings, okay? Because we're married. And we're going off into the world to show God's world, and that's amazing. It's September 15th. I'm Cole Spivey.
I'm Linda Spivey.
And welcome to the Please Subscribe show.
Looks like Arlington Heights area.
I forgot to tell you what we're doing today. First, Linda has an interview at Chick-fil-A. So Linda has an interview at Chick-fil-A, which I call the second church. So if you ever eat at Chick-fil-A, especially on a Sunday, it's like the second church. And then we get to drive Linda's car around, and that's amazing. And that would be the sound of a jet fighter, probably an F-16 or F-15. And that's amazing. So we're pulling up on the second church right now, Chick-fil-A. This guy's got some Chick-fil-A right there, probably a chicken sandwich with some waffle fries. And enjoy your last days of summer with peach milkshake. And we're definitely on the last days of summer, but you know what they mean by last days. Chick-fil-A. First part of the sign says last days. The end time chicken unit. Now, what if that guy's Chick-fil-A? Now he looks like a mechanic.
No,
all right.
it's a sushi place.
There they are. They've got these little vans for what they call Heights Corner, Chick-fil-A.com Heights Corner. They do catering. So if you got a birthday party or church event, just ask for Chick-fil-A and they'll do catering.
Ooh,
Yes, they're a
reserved
Christian
for
company.
Employee of the month.
Reserve for... That'll be for you, Linda. One day.
Yay.
Yeah, to be able to park over there where all the special people park. Then we've got a big line of cars right here. Chick-fil-A's always busy. And I think some of their money goes to some evangelical causes. I think they actually help out with church stuff and all kinds of stuff. And Spicy is back. Spicy is back, so order ahead through the Chick-fil-A app right there. You can see it, Chick-fil-A. I'm actually not going to park right here. I'm not going to be mean to the drivers. I try not to park in those curbside orders for delivery. Right? Was that delivery? Oh yeah, we're parking. We're parking. Can't go there. No,
that's why that's
I know.
You should have parked over there.
I'm parking over there.
You can play this game.
Well, that's why I did a turnaround right here. Okay.
You can do this on your own time.
I did a circumference around the entire unit of Chick-fil-A, or whatever you want to call it, building. One of the many Chick-fil-A's. Now, how many Chick-fil-A's are across the United States of America? That's something I'm going to look up here in a minute. And look, they even...
4,600.
She said 4,600 and she knew. Is that right, Snickles?
I don't know. I know it was 1946 when it was
Okay. I'm going to park. I'm going to park right here.
No, that's not a parking. There's lines. Park there.
No, that's parking.
No, it's not.
Look
at the lines.
Look outside. Look outside. Look down.
There's too many lines.
See?
But there's lines over here.
No, there's lines right there.
Well, you just
Look, I'll show you.
See all those lines?
Just give me a second. Look, I'm gonna show you. This is actually a parking spot. See? It doesn't say reserved for the vans or anything.
Okay.
That's a
yeah.
parking
Sorry, that was-
curb. Okay. And the catering number, if you're, church event or just whatever, is 817-737-4904. 817-737-4904. Call today. You ready? All right, I'll be right here, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So she's going in for an interview.
Okay.
Give her a prayer.
Hey.
Yeah, sweetie.
It went awesome. Thank you.
So were they nice?
Yes, they were nice.
Do you love Jesus?
Yes.
And I love Jesus too. And we're Jesus lovers. Jesus Christ. Say, I love Christ.
I love Christ.
Let me see the ring. We are married. All right, so pretty soon here we're going to be pulling up against one of my favorite signs, St. Paul Lutheran's Church. Luther basically woke up one day and said, there is no Catholic Church. That's what he said in his mind. He said, there is no priest, there is no pope. None of that exists. It's all like Toys R Us. And so he left. He said, I'm done with my childish things. I'm done with Catholic Church. Those are childish things. And I put those things away. And became Martin Luther, which led to the Constitution of the United States of America, which is based on Martin Luther's ideals. Our entire church existence and our entire existence on this planet, and especially the United States of America, has to do with Martin Luther's decision to follow Christ. And right there, it says, believe in the Lord. And that's all you have to do. Good day. Chick-fil-A is an example of how God shows us his love. I don't want to get all theology, but there's a lot of different ways that Jesus Christ shows his love to us, and Chick-fil-A is one of them. That's why I say it's a second church. We as Christians can walk up to Chick-fil-A and say, I'd like my chicken sandwich. We give governmental money or whatever it is, a promotion code, and we pick up the chicken sandwich and we eat it, and all the other people look and realize, wow, God must really love those Christians. And we sit down and we eat the Chick-fil-A, and it reminds everyone of the feast, the great feast in heaven. And the non-believers shield their eyes. I'm not gonna say anything about Grim Life Collective, but they shield their eyes and they don't want to see the Christian take a bite of that chicken and cheese, part of God's love and nutrition that goes in our tummy. Oh, there's a cool little bike right here. I'm gonna get that real quick on the bike right there. I was talking about the theology of Chick-fil-A. But it is true, God does show his love in many different ways. So now we're approaching Six Flags over Texas, and I did do some research, and I did find out that it's $80 for a season's pass. Season pass is $80.
Seasons.
Yeah, but if you look it up online, you get the three of them.
It's a season.
I know, but if you look it up online, you can find the three different season passes real quick.
Oh, you said they do a 4-pack.
They do 3 different season passes. I just know that one's the ultimate. And that means up to 10 friends.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you look it up, you get the 3. If you look up Six Flags, yeah. And you can find out that you can get 3 different season passes, okay? Now, it's a pass that's $80. That's a season's pass, okay? And it takes you through the whole season. So it's a season of Six Flags. And I think I'd like to get into it. It'd be a lot of fun showing God's love at theme parks. Now that's a Hurricane Harbor, which is also going to include in the season's pass. If you've got a nice bikini or, like a bathing suit or something, I would suggest probably wear a shirt, just in case something flops out. But that's basically a Hurricane Harbor right there. You can't really see it right now, but you can see part of it. Yeah, you want to be decent when you go to Hurricane Harbor because there's a lot of weirdos that show up there. Now right here is Six Flags, and you can see the oil derrick right there. Next to it is Superman. And then over on the other side is what I call the Texas Swings, but I found out there's a different name for it. But I use my own slang for some of the rides. I ain't gonna change the Shockwave's name. I don't care about Superman and Batman. The Shockwave has been the Shockwave since Six Flags is open. That's one of the original double loopers right there.
Where it goes backwards.
It doesn't go backwards.
That's the Judge Roy screen. So.
No, the Judge Roy doesn't go backwards either.
Judge Roy screen goes backwards.
No, it doesn't.
It used to?
No, it goes forward.
No, remember it used to go backwards.
It never went backwards.
Times. Yes, it did. Bullshit.
No, Judge Roy Scream always went forward. I've ridden it many times. I'm an expert. Judge Roy Scream always went forward.
But it went backwards about once a year.
Nah, they never ran it backwards.
Yes, you told me that.
They don't have the capability to run a Judge Roy Scream backwards.
Do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. It's the
Now, some of these do, which is the Joker and the Riddler. And that one's a Batman. It doesn't run backwards. It's based on the Judge Roy Beam. No, it goes one direction. Judge Roy Beam would never go backwards. He'd always go forward.
Yes, it did once a year.
No, Judge Roy Scream always goes forward. They don't. It doesn't have the capability to go backwards.
Yes,
it does not.
Okay,
that track that moves that thing cannot go backwards. If you can prove it goes backwards,
about the old school
get footage of it.
One.
Right, that's called the Judge Roy Scream. It does not go backwards.
Yeah, Judge Roy Scream.
It doesn't have the capability
Possibility
to go backwards.
that maybe one time the nature of things changed and Judge Roy Scream possibly may have gone backwards. I don't believe it. But that's what she's saying. She's getting probably false information. Is it you're looking it up right now?
Yes.
She's looking up some stuff about Six Flags.
Now, is the Judge Roy Scream still wooden right now?
Yeah, it's still wooden. I've been by it just the other day.
It's still wood. It's a wooden roller coaster.
Saying that she found some footage of the Judge Roy Scream going backwards in Six Flags over Texas. I don't really believe it. But maybe they turned...
1997.
Okay, she's saying in 1997. They may have turned the entire roller coaster around.
I don't know if it went
and the
backwards.
Passengers went backwards, but it still went in one direction.
We didn't have YouTube at the time.
Because of the way the track is and the way that it lifts it up, up the main hill, there's no way that I don't think it would be able to go backwards down that hill. It would
open March 1st,
very dangerous.
53 miles per hour.
Yeah, and I know for sure the Giant has never gone backwards. That'd kill people. The Giant's already killed people. Judge Roy Scream always went forward. John Millis wrote a script called Judge Roy Beam.
Oh my gosh.
Paul Newman. What?
Okay, Six Flags, Arlington, Texas. In 2006, as part of the park's 45th anniversary, Six Flags Over Texas hosted a ride-a-thon in which 16 contestants had to ride Judge Roy Scream for a total of 45 hours straight, with some breaks, of course. 10 contestants ended up winning the event, which included winnings of $450, all expenses paid trips, season passes, and flash passes for future use. Each hour, contestants averaged 18 laps around the ride's track. In the end, the grand total of travel was 555 laps, or 260.68 miles.
All right.
That's between Dallas and Houston.
Ripley's, believe it or not, has been there for many years as well. It's in Arlington, going right into Grand Prairie. They used to do one of the coolest haunted houses back in the 1980s called Dr. Blood. I went through it with my mom, and I was so scared I buried my head in the small of my mom's back. Never let go. That's how scared I was. The reason why it was that terrifying is because a lot of the characters didn't move.
Yeah, see, 1994, it runs backwards.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it meant backwards or backwards from like where you could win.
In Dr. Blood, what made it so scary in the haunted house is that the characters would not move. Some of them were mannequins, and some were dressed up like Dr. Blood characters, which had a mask. You could not tell who was real and who was fake. But when you walk by somebody that's completely still and they don't move, that's pretty scary. And then they scare your friend behind you. See what I'm saying? So they had a lot of psychology in Dr. Blood. And one of the things they did too is they had a lady sitting in a circle on the ground, and she looked like a mental patient. And she was rocking back and forth, but there was a circle around her where you weren't supposed to disturb her. And she was like having a mental breakdown, walking back and forth. And you thought maybe that was someone that was within the ride, or within, not the ride, but within the haunted house. It wasn't a ride, it was something you walk through. But you thought it was part of the haunted house, and they just psychologically scared the crap out of you. They had scary music. The characters were mostly dressed in white. Think of Logan's Run. Very Logan's Run. And they had like blood stains and stuff on their gowns. And so look, some of them looked like they had like blood splatter. Then there was one section where they had these long nails that would spark. So they would sit there and reach out, and it was like they were trying to grab you, but there were sparks coming out of their nails, these long metal nails, or there's some kind of nails. I don't think they were metal, but they were enough to make static electricity come out after you. There was a lot of different psychological things they did to scare you, and the music they played was also very scary too. And they played music in every single part of the whole haunted house. You could never escape the music. It was almost like Phantom of the Opera kind of stuff, but these guys were dressed all in white robes, and they had these weird masks, very Eyes Wide Shut kind of thing. Very scary. If you ever seen Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, it's very like what do they call it? I can't think of the name of it. Cult, like a cult kind of thing. Almost like a ritualistic thing. It was just too spooky. They had to tone it down after the years. They also had doctors. There were people that were dressed as doctors that would walk behind a lot of the Dr. Blood characters and talk to them, like in their ear. You couldn't hear the conversations, but they would whisper and they would point to the haunted house goers, to the people that were walking through the haunted house. They'd point to them, and then they would whisper in their ears and say things about, like they were talking about you. So it wasn't just a haunted house. They went above and beyond. But the scariest thing is how still they could be. And you would think, is that a mannequin or is that a real person? And you have to walk like right by them. I'm talking like tongue in cheek. Backwards. It's just a regular roller coaster. It just goes forward.
I remember seeing a YouTube where it did go backwards.
Well, show me the YouTube. Show me the footage. They can always run the footage backwards. I don't think it could. I think it could hurt somebody if it ran backwards. They usually run it forward because of how the track is at the beginning. It has a thing that lifts the cars up the track, and then it releases it, and everything runs on gravity after that. I don't know if it's an electric track. It may be an electric track. I don't know. And probably part of it is. I don't know if they're electric tracks. They probably are. I think a lot of it runs off gravity. It's also a Boys Don't Cry filming location too. You see the skyline with a Hillary Swank. They actually originally were going to shoot that up north. They decided to change the story and make it a Texas story. And it was about someone named Tina something. She changed her name and switched it around. But they did a segment of Dallas because they set the entire movie in Dallas, or they set it not in Dallas, I'm sorry, in Texas, in a small town in Texas. And it's supposed to be set up north, and they did it for zoning because zoning was cheaper. It was actually cost effective to shoot the film here in Texas. Hillary Swank, did she win an Oscar for that, or she was nominated? She might have. I know she won for $1 Million Baby. I think she was nominated. Yeah, I think she got ripped off on that one. It's where she played Tina. What was her name? Do you remember her name?
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. So we're just talking about a movie. Basically a filming location in Dallas. I don't know her. She was an actress. She is an actress in Hollywood. She played Tina something. Okay, I figured out. It's Brandon Tina that was in the character in Boys Don't Cry. What do you do with your hand?
I'm trying to figure out what they mean by judge boy screen. It's flipped around so riders would see as if they're headed down the drop facing the opposite directions. She went up the hill like that. So they ended the Wouldn't they still go up the hill? It's not like they go down.
Yeah, they have to go in one direction because it ends where it kind of begins. If you ran it backwards, the track wouldn't. No, I don't think it could happen. Now, if it,
yeah, I think it did go backwards. You got in the car.
No,
the car was
Judge Roy,
backwards.
I never rode the Judge Roy Scream where it went backwards.
I don't think it started at the
Couldn't go
end to go
backwards.
to the beginning. I don't know.
What theme parks have you been in? Because that's not Six Flags. You're thinking of something else.
No, it's right here. Six Flags over Texas.
There's more than
Six
one.
Flags San Antonio.
There's San Antonio.
Six
maybe
Flags
different.
Astroworld. No.
Asteroid could be different.
No, I only went there once. No, I've been here like 15 times.
I'm talking about Six Flags over Texas in Arlington.
Yes. Judge Roy Scream right there.
Never knew it ran backwards.
Yes, it did.
Didn't think
Still
it was
gonna
possible.
figure it out.
All right, we're gonna figure it out.